Guys, just before this video starts, please go check out my friend Helsk right here, right there. Go check him. He's gonna actually be uploading to my YouTube channel now. I've given him the account and everything, so he will be making a build video right now. That's actually what he's doing. But let's get started and enjoy the video. Alright guys, so we're gonna start this build video off, and I've made this video up on my own, which I'm pretty sure I'm the first one to make this, but I'm not sure. If I'm not, please tell me in the comments, because I don't want to take all the credit for making this build. But anyways, let's get started. I'm using a black market M60. You can use any LMG you want, RPK, M60, but the M60 and the Hungry Hog apparently are like the best guns to use with this build. But we're going to start with my talents. I have Deadly, Sustained, and Adept. I have not re-rolled any of these yet. I'm going to probably end up re-rolling, I'm thinking Sustained, and try to get Brutal or, what's that called? Brutal or, I got it on one of these other guns. Or Predatory, that's what I'm talking about. Or Predatory, Brutal or Predatory, whichever one I get. And, so it has Deadly, Sustained, and Adept. The attachments, I'm using a MK4 zoom scope for sniper rifles. I'm using it, and it has 23.5% optimal range, 6% headshot damage, and 2.5% crit chance. Moving on to my suppressor, it has 17.5% headshot damage, 3% crit chance, and 2.5% stability. For my underbarrel, I'm using a hand stop. Apparently the hand stops are like the best for assault rifles and just about anything except for SMGs. But it has 28.5% reload speed, 4% crit damage, and 2% accuracy. Reload speed and crit damage are very important, especially reload speed, since this gun has such a really big mag size. I'm using an extended magazine, 105.5% magazine size, reload speed, which is very important, and then rate of fire, which is also very important, since the RPMs on this gun are very low. You can do whatever you want for your secondary. I use a sniper. You can either use an assault rifle or an MP5 or something like that, or you could even use a shotgun like the SASG, since it fires so quickly. But I'm using my covert SRS. We don't have to get into the attachments on that because they're not really that important for this build. Moving on to my gear, I'm using a 2-piece Nomad, 4-piece four-piece Predator's Mark. My vest, I'm using a Nomad vest. It has armor, health, ammo. It has ammo capacity, but it's geared towards firearms. And of course you're going to need a lot of firearms. Make sure you have armor on your vest. Moving on to my mask, I'm using a Predator's Mark mask geared towards health with crit chance. Crit chance is extremely important with LMGs. But moving on to my knee pads, I'm using Nomad knee pads. Of course mine have armor on them. Your minor attributes, you really want to have shock resistance because of shock turrets. If you can have shock and burn resistance, those are very important for PvP. This is a PvP build, keep that in mind. This can be used for PvE, but mainly a PvP build. Moving on to my backpack, I'm using a Predator's Mark backpack that has it has armor. I really wish it had an ammo capacity just so I could hold a crap ton of ammo. But mine is geared towards skill power, which is important, but if it was geared towards firearms, my DPS would be a lot higher. I am going to show some gameplay in a little bit. I will start, show you a couple clips, but even though my DPS isn't high, I'm using booster shot with it, since my skill power is really high. I'm using booster shot so I can amp up my damage, and I'm also using cover to cover, and I'll get into my talents in a minute. Moving on to my gloves, I'm using Predator's Mark gloves, which if I wanted to, if I wasn't using 4-piece Predator or 2-piece Nomad, I would just use like Savage gloves. and I could probably roll like let's see, yeah, I could roll like for this one here, because this is shotgun, I could re-roll shotgun damage over to LMG damage, but I'm using Predator's Mark gloves. My holster is a Predator's Mark holster. It has armor on it. You have to have armor on a holster, and then of course it's geared towards all three. Okay, now moving on over to my my skills and my talents. As my skills, I'm using first aid. Of course, everybody pretty much uses that. I'm using booster shot with it, so that I can amp up my damage more. I'm also using the immunizer station. I'm going to show you a clip of just what the immunizer station does. Okay, so say that I get hurt. I just place down my immunizer station, throw a grenade. I'm going to hurt myself. And what I can do is, I'm getting hurt. If I blow up my immunizer station, I get some health. Some of you know that, some of you don't. But that's basically it. That's the whole reason I run immunizer, and I'm also running with a team, so it's really good for healing. Okay, moving back onto my talents, I'm using critical save. I'm using make it during low health to increase damage resistance by 40%. Very, very helpful against people using like shotguns and that are using glass cannon builds. I'm also using combat medic. Use a med kit near allies to heal group members and proxies, which is just other players that aren't rogue. Other proxies within 20 meters by 40%. So pretty helpful. You don't have to use this. If you wanted to, you could use like on the move or one is none. But I'm using those two as my medical. And I'm using Tactical Advance. I think everybody should be using Tactical Advance. Complete a cover-to-cover move to increase weapon damage by 2% per meter covered for 10 seconds. Very, very useful. Literally, I can go as like from, if I do cover-to-cover as far as you can go, my DPS would come from 196,000 to like 280,000. Just by using cover to cover. So definitely use Tactical Advance because it really, really helps. I'm also using precision headshot a hostile to pulse them for 10 seconds. Most people don't know this, but if when you're using precision, if you mark somebody and they're like in precision activates, not only is it like pulsing them, but it's amping your damage by however powerful your skill power is. So my skill power is 97,000. It's gonna amp my damage depending on how much skill power you have. So that would be really high amp damage. Okay guys, to wrap up the video, I'm going to go over my mods on my gear. I'm using stamina mods, which with one of them has skill power, one of them has crit chance. Crit chance is very important. Skill power, not so much. If I wanted to, I could change over to this firearms mod that has armor on it. But that's all I have on my chest piece. My mask, I'm using another stamina mod with armor, just to give me some more toughness. My Kneepads have stamina mod with skill power, and then performance mod with turret health. I'm gonna try to find some more that have like support station duration and support station range. I already have one that has that I'm using that has support station duration, mainly just range so that I can reach all my teammates. But moving on to my backpacks mods, I'm using firearms mod with armor on it, performance mod with first aid self-heal, and of course one with support station duration by 6.5%. Very, very useful for this build. Okay, last but not least, my holster, I'm using a first aid self-heal. That's because I'm using booster shot. I want to be able to heal myself as much as possible. But that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below. If you want to see more daily content like this, or if you want to see more build videos. But that's it, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.